It is now time to turn to my right and welcome in my next two guests here from the film Top Gun Maverick, which is in theaters near you coming up in June, but it's never too early to front load you to know that the latest iteration of Top Gun is coming, again, to a theater near you. Enjoyed this man's work in Whiplash and this man's work also in Hidden Figures, respectively. Miles Teller and Glenn Powell, good to see you guys here on The Rich Eisen Show.
Thanks for having us on, man.
You got it.
Nice
You got
setup.
it. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Pretty bright. We were going to make a run for it to grab our sunglasses, and then we heard him going, 4, 3, 2.
I mean, you don't have aviators ready to help promote your film?
You know what?
What's up with that?
I know.
I assumed we were going to
know.
have some sort of Ray-Ban sponsorship after this thing. I have to buy them just like everyone.
I mean,
spent every dime I had on this movie buying Ray-Bans that I lose.
we got to get on Paramount, right? I mean, or is it, or hold on a second, you just tell me, is Tom Cruise the only one who's allowed to wear those in promotion of the film? We didn't step on any issues right here, did we?
I don't know. There's so much stuff we can't talk about, so I'm just going to skip on to the next one.
Yeah, because you can't, Miles, you can't reveal too much of what's going on.
I know, which is tricky because they want it, it's like, hey, go down and, talk about Top Gun, but don't talk about it too much.
Actually, don't talk about the movie. You can say
really
that you're in
talk
it.
about it at all.
So I don't know what we're going to talk about here. Yeah. First rule of Fight Club, also first rule of Top Gun Maverick.
Top Gun.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the same exact thing. What we can say, though, is Miles, your character is the son of the dearly departed Goose, correct?
Yes.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. Yeah, look up in the sky and point up
Love
there.
you, Dad.
Love you, Dad.
And your character, Glenn, is Hangman, correct? Is
Yes,
that what
sir.
it is? And who is Hangman? Can we say
Who's
that?
Hangman? He's the greatest weapon the U.S. Navy's ever produced.
Okay. That's saying quite
heavily
a bit.
debatable. I think once people see the film, very much debatable.
And
honestly, a lie.
I don't want to again have any spoilers. Is there a danger zone in this film? Is it
Physical danger zone
Yeah,
or
I
Kenny
mean,
Loggins?
Please tell me Loggins is doing another
Loggins
version
was
of this.
on set every day singing us into each scene.
That got you.
I'd be cool if
the role.
Loggins and Messina did the whole soundtrack.
Don't you think?
Yeah, I would love that.
So I again imagine, just like everybody else, you grew up seeing Top Gun and it meant a lot. What in the hell was it like being on the set of Top Gun, Tom Cruise there? You're going to do it all again. Miles.
Well, I remember the first, we're all down in Fallon, Nevada where Top Gun is. And, I think we were getting like fitted or Tom was about to go up for a flight and he put the Maverick helmet on for the first time. And I started a Maverick chant. And that was, that was a pretty surreal moment. It's such a legendary character. Like you said, for so many different generations, this movie came out before I was born. And for a lot of my friends, it is their favorite movie, and they are pissed off that I'm in it.
What do you mean they're pissed off?
They're my
that you're in it?
closest friends. They just are always like, man, I would love that movie if you weren't in it, just because they have a hard time,
Right.
seeing the character, whatever it is. I have great friends.
I was about to say,
obviously.
I was about to
Sounds like your
say,
friends don't like it.
Miles, I was
Sounds like
about
you're
to
not
say,
friends,
you
Miles.
need to upgrade your friends that you
Are
have.
you good on friends, or do you need?
Well, I mean,
I'm obviously looking.
No, I
That's
can't.
this whole press tour is Miles trying to find friends. So if you're,
Oh, I'm more than happy to do that. If you
Okay.
need
will
that.
you be happy for him to be in this movie?
I don't understand. What was it like when you were in an Oscar-nominated film, Miles? What was that like? Were they like? Did they just like
His mom
shun
stopped
you?
returning his
How
calls.
dare you? Did they shun you when you were in Whiplash? I mean, what's that all about?
I don't know. It's good, man. They're just like my buddies. I've had my whole life, so
Okay.
it's good. They keep me in check.
Okay. And so what was it like for you, Glenn, on that set?
I mean, Top Gun is one of the reasons I became an actor. Tom Cruise is my favorite actor.
Are you serious?
Yeah, absolutely. It's like when I was a kid, I think I was 10 years old, my dad showed me Top Gun. And it was like a big moment. It was, one of his favorite movies. And it was like teaching you how to throw a baseball for the first time. It was something he was so excited to show me because it was something that I feel like it's like a moment for a dad to a son. And so to be on set, my dad got to be in the movie.
Nobody's family finds the lens more than the pals. It was incredible.
He's in a scene with you.
How they could just find the lens. You told me though you wanted to become an actor because you realized at an early age that you were just incredibly good looking. That was always what you told me.
Yeah, I found my face in a spoon, and I never looked back.
You know what? There's two things that if you're incredibly good looking, ruggedly.
And we're speaking from experience.
Well, yeah.
Obviously.
Is that two? Then I guess there's three things. One, you can become an actor. Two, you can become a talk show host.
Absolutely.
Or three become the quarterback of the New England Patriots.
Absolutely,
in
GQ.
some way, shape, or form. And Jimmy G
GQ.
is now Jimmy GQ.
Yeah.
Is out here right
Yeah,
now.
and Carson Wentz.
I
mean-
debatable. You know,
Yeah.
he's not getting any offers to be on The Bachelor.
There's not
but
many hills I would die on, and that's I'll go with that one.
He's got a
Audience, Carson Wentz, like considered like pretty attractive.
We're getting
No, not
no
a lot of
response.
claps. A bunch of Giants,
You know,
Cowboys fans
it's
in
it's
here,
really
man.
funny because, and this is no offense to anybody in our studio audience,
But
we're
you're gonna
thrilled that
offend
you're
some
here.
people.
No. Well, I by the way, we have come up on this show that if you say the words "with all due respect" to start a sentence,
Yeah.
you are free to be disrespectful after that.
Oh, okay.
You inoculate yourself with the
Okay.
words "with all due respect."
Saddle up, I'm ready to
So,
hear
with
it.
all due respect to our studio audience, this entire week. You could make them clap over anything, like literally say the word cereal.
Except
Who loves
Carson
cereal?
Wentz.
And people will clap. You know, who loves cereal over here? See? So people love cereal. Who loves Top Gun? Who loves Top Gun? See? Who thinks Carson Wentz is as handsome as Jimmy G?
Boo.
Oh, wait, there's one lady.
My man
She-
in the bird shirt
Hold on
back
a second.
there.
They are drunk. They're drunk. They've
yeah.
been day drinking all morning.
Nice.
He's getting
It's
kicked out as we
unbelievable.
speak.
Good.
Day drinking all morning here on
Good.
the Rich Eisen Show. So it means you're an Eagles fan?
Die Hard, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
All Philly except for baskets. My dad was a big Jerry West fan, so I inherited Lakers and Notre Dame from him.
Notre Dame, huh?
Yeah.
You know, I'm a Michigan guy, so I watch Rudy, hoping he pops his quad at the end of the film.
Rudy was offsides.
Rudy was offsides.
He was offsides, man.
Don't you think?
But you gotta love the spirit trying to jump in the snap count.
He was in the
Yeah.
neutral zone. He might have even lined up in the neutral zone.
It
Miles.
would be
Yeah.
funny. The weirdest ending to that movie would just be a flag on the play and Rudy getting tossed.
They're all
It's like,
celebrating.
oh,
they're like waving it off.
Damn
Movie's
you,
not
Rudy.
as good as like Rudy. You ruined the game,
Yeah,
man.
and Charles Dutton is slow clapping and then by himself outside the stadium for nothing.
Sadly, goes back
for
in
nothing.
the tunnel.
The best.
Unless, he just
The best.
Charles Dutton just loved neutral zone infractions. He's just clapping slowly for no reason,
Yeah.
other than all that. Glenn, what's your team?
You know what's funny is actually regarding Michigan, my dad went to Ohio State.
Oh, my
and the
God.
only time I've ever seen my dad as the most zen, cool guy ever.
Yes.
The only time I've ever seen him lose it was when Charles Woodson ruined. Remember that in the Rose Bowl? Like,
Oh, my
ruined that?
gosh, yeah. Well,
he,
that-
threw
well,
a,
he-
he threw a bowl of pistachios through the TV.
Just through the
was it.
television.
That is
Yeah.
such a dad thing. My dad loved pistachios too.
By the way, you
What
said
is that?
By the way, you said it. Nobody finds the lens quite like the Powell family,
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah,
So
it's
you
true.
f-
Found the lens
Yeah.
right
So
through
when
it.
Charles Woodson went the distance from
Yes.
my alma mater
Yes.
against the Ohio State
Yes.
University, as you know, you've got to say it's the Ohio State
The Ohio
University. 'Cause
State.
Otherwise, you could
They wanted
confuse
to
it.
trademark the.
You can absolutely confuse it from an Ohio State University. I have no
agree.
idea which Ohio State University
Ohio
would do.
State,
Has to be
Ohio,
the.
Miami.
So when he spoiled it for that year, which, by the way, might be the last time that my alma mater had a moment like that against this
yeah,
institution.
you guys have had a weird run.
I know. I have to
Weird
own it.
run.
I have to own it.
I love that rivalry, so I like Michigan being great. I love when those two
Right.
clash in the most epic way.
Okay.
I went to University of Texas, so I'm a huge Longhorn fan.
Okay, there you go.
And I'm feeling good about the future, but obviously we got a lot to prove still.
So Miles, you play fantasy football?
I
You
do,
play-
yeah.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
Who do you? What league are you in?
I'm in one of Barry's 3,000 leagues.
Matthew
I'm
Barry?
in another one. I was in the AGBO one where they donated the winnings to a charity of your choice. At Hemsworth one, but
Okay.
yeah. So I got like 20,000 donated to NAMI for
Okay.
mental health.
Okay.
And then yeah, I'm in one with my buddies from high school, and then I'm in another kind of
Dude,
celeb league.
how many are
It's
you
too
in?
many, and I'm in a pick'em, and I also, I bet on sports. So I mean, and also I'm an Eagles fan, and it's just like, so it's so fluctuating. I really just want to get back to the purity of it, where I'm like, if the Eagles win, I'm happy.
Sure.
If they lose, I'm upset. There's too much, because if I lose money and the Eagles,
Right.
it's a lot.
You bet while we were shooting the movie, it always determined your mood for the day. I always knew
Really?
that, and because you don't just bet on the Eagles, you bet on a lot of different stuff.
I'm emotional.
Very emotional.
You're
bettor.
emotional?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Miles Teller and Glenn Powell from Top Gun Maverick in theaters near you on the 26th of June. We're going to see a clip of that in a second. Game prediction time presented by DirecTV 4K. Quick reminder that the big game on Sunday is brought to you by 4K HDR and DirecTV. Okay, guys, who do you have, Kansas City or San Francisco in this one? What do you got? Miles, you
I'm
first.
going San Francisco. Eh, 38, 34.
Now you can see that there is somebody who wagers quite a bit,
Hey, now.
giving a score.
I'm going to
By the-
tease it for the Niners.
You're going to tease it for the
I'm
Niners.
teasing it for the Niners, too.
See, I'm an
Yeah.
NFL employee,
Yeah.
not allowed to gamble.
Sure.
So when you use words like that, I have no earthly idea what you're talking about. Teasing it, I have no clue.
That kind of takes all the fun about being an NFL employee when you can't.
You know what? It's still fine, regardless. I still have some fun
Yeah.
doing it. What about you, Glenn? Who
I'm
do you
taking the
think?
Chiefs by a touchdown.
Okay.
Patrick Mahomes. There we go.
See?
they
They'll
do
clap
clap. They
for-
clap for
they
me,
clap.
Miles. I don't know.
Well, you're
It's just
talking,
'cause-
they're wearing a Kansas City Chiefs shirt. I just said, do you think Carson Wentz is like a hot dude?
Attractive.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you just stop talking about the attractiveness of quarterbacks and actually talk about football once in
Okay.
a while. like,
It's all
you
the
get-
same to me.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So, which one of you guys handled being a cockpit better? Did anybody pass out?
What'd he say?
Did anybody pass out on shooting this?
Nobody
film?
passed out.
Nobody
There's
did?
there's a group of, we got 6 of us, and 50% were puking, honestly, up even until the last day. One time I had to get in the cockpit after Glenn had just come back from a flight, and it's intense. I'm not trying to downplay that. And I see Glenn, I'm like, hey man, how'd it go? He's like, oh man, went great. I'm like, got all the shots, everything? He's like, crushed it, man. Anyway, I'll see ya. I'm walking up to the jet, and they're just like, oh my God, like, because he had just puked all over
No,
this
I
thing.
never puked in the jet. I always put it. I
Well, you're
always put
inside
it.
when you puke, whether it stayed in your mouth or no,
No,
because you have a
no.
bag.
I just gave a
Either
puke
way,
air
people are like,
freshener
"Oh
to the
my
jet. I never
God.
donated physically
Who
anything
did
to the
that?
jet.
Oh, he's probably a Cowboys fan, and stuff like that.
Is
Well,
he
you had
is
to
he
go there.
maligning you, Glenn?
What was
is
that?
he unfairly maligning you right now?
I'll
Is
tell
that
you.
what's
I'll tell you
happening?
this. I started off really, really strong
Check
in
the
the
tape.
jet, and then check the tape. I started off strong in the jet, and then over the course of it, once you start pulling these G's,
Yeah.
where the blood is draining from your head, and once I had this like Pavlovian response where like I got in the jet, I was like, you know what? I just give in. I know it's gonna happen. It's very intense up there.
And I mean, look, the fact that you have a bag down here, Glenn or whoever, you feel sick, cut camera, take the bag out, puke, lock it away, and then you still are flying around for another hour.
Well, I didn't even lock
If you
it
got to
away.
go to the bathroom, you got to
Clearly.
figure that all out.
Clearly, you didn't lock it
No.
away, Glenn.
But what
That's
I
the
had to
whole point.
do,
You lock
at
it
least,
all away.
like, you have your
You
hand
lock
on the
some
throttle,
away.
you have your hand on the stick.
Whoa,
and
this is easy, buddy. This is
But I had to have the bag of puke here because you can't put it back in the.
Maybe that should be your fantasy team name next year is Bag of Puke. What do you think? You got an avatar, Miles. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. Bag of Puke. It's funny. We had Rob Lowe on the show, and he was telling stories about basically
Did he wear the
growing up.
hat? The shield
He didn't
hat?
wear the shield hat. No, he did not. He was on the show basically telling stories about growing up with Tom Cruise and saying that Tom Cruise refers to his movies that he's done with just one word. Like, he would talk about gun or mission. Does he do that?
That's
Did
just
you witness
kind of how
that?
it goes in this business too. I
Really?
don't know what it is, but somebody like, oh yeah, I was on Pirates, or oh yeah, I was on, they truncate everything.
Well, what would it be? Would Whip or what would he Lash? Were you on Lash or were you on Whip?
Yeah, I
Were you
did
in
Lash.
You did figures, back
Figures.
in the day?
Figures.
Sure.
And people know what you're talking about.
Yeah, absolutely.
It sounds cool, right?
call
Oh
this
my
one
God,
Maverick.
it's the coolest thing
Yeah.
ever.
It's really cool.
Pirates is cooler than Lash. I'll say that.
Gun, Mission
Yeah. There's another.
I don't think Gun's gonna stick.
No.
of July.
It's Born. It's got to be Born. It's Born.
Yeah.
No, you already got Born.
You got
true.
Born.
Damon's got all
With
the
an
Borns.
E.
Damon's got all
Yeah,
the
that's the
Borns,
problem.
I know.
Yeah.
Well,
Matt
this
Damon
one.
has that one.
Well, this one's Top Gun Maverick, and again, it's in theaters on June 26th. We are going to see a clip of it. Miles Teller and Glenn Powell right here on the Rich Eisen Show. Everybody, that's an applause line right now. There you go.
Carson
Give me a little applause.
Wentz.
Yeah, Carson Wentz, everybody.
Carson Wentz, that handsome son of a gun.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live or download the Rich Eisen Show app.